God bless America, and no place else.
I think a lot of the African American discourse comes from like a good place, because I do think that a lot of Black people like being called Black in America because they are Black. I think that a lot of people take offense to people being proud of just being Black, but I don't think that it's offensive. A lot of Black Americans only can track their lineage back to America. On my dad's side, you can only track it back to Louisiana. Yeah, we're from here. We're from here. That's why we claim being Black Americans and not African Americans, when there are actually African Americans in America. I grew up around a lot of Nigerian people who were attached to their culture because they knew it. They knew their culture. They were raised in it. Their people are actually from there. My people are from here. They're from here. A lot of Black Americans' family are from here. A lot of Black Americans built up the country. That's why they claim being Black American and not African American. It's not really a hard discourse, and I don't see why people think it's disrespectful to claim the lineage that they are aware of and can track their lineage back. I think people want us to be ashamed of being Black Americans because of the way Black people got to America, but that's who we are now. That's the culture that we were raised in, and that's what we like to claim.
Tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight if they come to cut the mix master ice. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again to the Independent Black Voice. I am your host, beatzillapdx official, and we are here once again live, everybody, live in the rec. And you might need to check your settings on this video, because I know something has been happening on these videos that as soon as we go live, they are downgrading these videos to like 360. So make sure you're seeing it in a full 1080, which we are broadcasting in right now. So you know how that goes. But today is the first live of New Black Media Appreciation Month. And let me see, let me get that off real quick. So, like I said, this is the first live of New Black Media Appreciation Month. And so I would like to say salute to all of you, the Black Grassroots, salute to all of the other voices of New Black Media, and salute to our ancestors and predecessors who have laid the groundwork before us to be able to pick up the mantle and run with it. Now, that being said, let's get that back on there. As you are coming into this live, please hit that like button, hit that share button, share this out to a friend. And, you know, a lot of people have things to say about this group of foundational Black Americans. But the one thing that you do have to recognize, and it's coming to be a ever-growing topic, is we are truly the foundation of America.
God bless America, and no place else.
And so what we are seeing out here involves the people who are the foundations of that. And there are two groups that can say we were most definitely present. Another group, by way of everybody already knowing that they were here, ended up being grafted into the citizenship. But even the slaves or descendant or the freedmen literally became citizens before who you call Native Americans. So it's going to be very interesting to watch people try to navigate around a conversation that in its core is anti-foundational Black American. And we're going to get to it today. So, like I said, share this out to a friend. We're going to take our time and listen to some things today. You know, just comb through it, because people will gaslight you and say, well, this is what this is and this is what that is. Well, I'm the type of person that likes people to be able to decide what something is for themselves, you know, and I believe that this is one of those things that you should be able to enjoy, is a person talking to you live and direct, like you have common good sense, that you are intelligent. Because clearly, as much as these people would hate to admit, you're one hell of a group. So much so that they're spending buku dollars trying to figure out how to get your attention. And the one thing that they're having a problem with is, if we're psyops who are on the microphone, then that means all of you of the Black Grassroots are also psyops. See how that doesn't track in the long run? They would love it to, but it doesn't. Then you have the pan-Africanists that say, yeah, well, this is clearly an agenda. Really? Yeah, well, again, like I said, we're going to get to that today. So if you're new here to the independent Black voice, let me first reiterate that word, independent, meaning that we here are a lineage-based, politically targeted group. Well, I wouldn't even say group, focus. I'll say focus. And so with that being said, meaning my political angle here is for the betterment and benefit of my community, who is so long when ignored, which in doing that also means I have to be aware of the harms and dangers and exploitations of my people. And so to ignore something that would be beneficial for us would be me not doing my responsible part. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we're going to talk about some things, and I guess some Democrat shills might be upset today, but that's okay, because we are independent. We are not Democrat nor Republican, we being independent. See, you see over there? It says the independent Black voice. So let's go. Who we got in the house though? Oh, you know what? Let me get that up here and get y'all on the screen. Priscilla Taylor is in the building. Good to see you in the building. Thank you for being here. Jersey City. And we have Black RU 365. B1 listening. Oh, okay. So you probably or just got the audio on. That's all good. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being a member. Appreciate it. And of course, we got our good sister Judah Yisrael in the building. Thank you for being here. Black First, getting settled, just got home. Well, good to see you in the building. Hope the fam is well, and hope you are doing good as well, my good sister. Always good to see you in the house. Salute to you. Thank you for being a member. And of course, thank you for being my long-standing moderator of this channel. Everybody give her a good salute every time you see Judy Israel in the building. It's It's hard to hold on to solid ones out here, and she's one of them. Salute to you, my good sister. Antithesis in the building. What's going on? Black First, Valdosta, Georgia. I appreciate you for being here as well. Of course, dropping that super chat. I most definitely appreciate you for the super chat and being a member and all of your support of this channel and of these voices of new Black media, because we are megaphones for you. And so this is something that I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to have to come to terms that they are dealing with just us being a vehicle and the tool. We are mouthpieces for the people. That's it. There's no leader because the code is the leader. And you are all subscribed to the code as well. So, people just going to have to be mad and turn around and swing like Trey in the air, and just know that every time they wake up and make these posts or say these statements, that, damn, you get up every day to lie on other Black people. But at the same time, those of us over here, like Antithesis, we get people that can wish good tidings upon us, just like I will do our good brother right here. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, good brother. Appreciate it. Salute to you. And thank you, of course, for being a member, like I said. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. And Mighty Black One, Black First, I appreciate you being here. And absolutely salute to you. Thank you. Happy New Black Media Appreciation Month. Absolutely. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Family, I'm going to try some different. So I need you to let me know if we get that weird echo or not. I think and I hope that I have figured out this echo issue, and let me know immediately, family, if we have an echo or if we're good with the sound, because this should be the way to go in the future. So we're going to try this now. And I'm going to start this one off because, again, like I'm saying, and I know not just myself, I know Brother Professor Black Truth, and I'm sure others have mentioned, we are a collective unit. So it's a all of us move here. None of us can do anything alone. It requires every one of you. And because of that, people have got a chance to hear a lot of y'all's perspective thanks to spaces and these TikTok rooms and whatnot. So I salute every one of y'all for doing your part, because this has forced the conversation to make people understand we are here. And we are the parents of the next future blocks of Black voters. We're not to be ignored. And it's just the people. So when people get up here and start saying psyops, you can tell that they have gotten, that they have been involved in these rooms that, okay, we're going to target this group. We're going to target these people. We're going to look out for what this phrasing is or whatever. And they're not connected. They're not connected at all. And it shows. They all come out. There's been sleepers like the doctor. Like there's been all kinds of sleepers around here that pop up and then all of a sudden start talking against the code. And then you have pan-Africanists who spend every waking day, and I call them pan-Africrats, spend every waking day going at foundational Black Americans. Do you realize that the number one enemy of foundational Black Americans, which should be the MAGA crowd and like TPUSA crowd, Nah. It's other melanated immigrants and the hustlers of our own lineage who benefit. And salute to Tariq Nasheed for bringing the whole 19 keys thing up to, to light, because as those of us who were talking about it are like, man. And at the end of the day, 19 keys revealed who he is. So there's that. We have a lot to be appreciative for in the force that just being unified. See, everybody talks about we need to be unified with them. But I want you to take note of something, family. Do you realize every time they do that, they address us as a unified group? You realize that? Oh, y'all ain't never going to be able to work together. Black folks just don't get along. When they talk about us now, do they not refer to us as a unified group? You could literally say what these millions of people won't. There's no, oh, well, this is nuanced. And as soon as we delineated, it became very direct. Right? And so look at all these other groups. They have issues. Oh, wait a minute. Because if we're moving, but we're only moving for us, then look at everybody else. They feel some kind of way. We're being left behind. Hold on, y'all. This is divisive. No. No, it wasn't divisive when Joe Biden had Gladys Knight over there paying off gambling debts. I mean, and I'm just saying that just being, because we understand it. For those who are old enough, we remember. But had her in there performing for the Africans because Joe Biden apologized to Africans for them losing their brethren and family members to the slave trade. And these people legitimately believe that they should be part of our thing. And it's not just going to Ghana. It's bigger than that. And so, again, Crew Reality in the building. What's going on, my good brother? I see you. Thank you for being here. Kermit in the building. What's going on, good brother? I see you in the building. Salute to you. I ain't seen you live in a while. So, man, and again, salute to all of y'all who have been in these spaces over the years, always making sure that this conversation from the grassroots never goes away. And let me take this time out to say a special shout out to Sir Major, because love him or hate him, that brother was on the job every day. Shout out to Re-Ups, who is, tried to step in them shoes and been holding it down. And so everybody around that group that keeps this discourse a daily thing. Salute to all of y'all. You know, I know a lot of people, oh, Sir Major is this, Sir Major is that. I will say this. You can, like I said, love him or hate him. Did he not keep this conversation in y'all's face every single day? So, like I said, man, I'm no hater. And this being a team player and a part of a team doesn't mean that you have to get along with everybody and you don't have to like everybody. You know why? Because you go to work every day and deal with folks you can't see. You'll still get that check and plan your vacation accordingly and go, you got to do your benefits at the end of the year. You ain't going to change nothing about that. So what we need to do is treat our own with the same type of openness we do outsiders. And now that we have been moving in that lane, oh, these people are shook. And so Look at Chicago flips red. That's why a lot of people like to use this MAGA, FBA MAGA, all that weird talk. Oh, let me put my glasses on. I see some caps here. What am I looking at? Oh, it was a thanks God it's over. Black equals colonizer language and colonized mind. Black equals branchless equals denying John 15. I'm the vine, ye are the branches. Without me, ye can do nothing. And test all spirits. Okay, I've asked you the same question last time you tried to come in here. Post Daniel 12:1. Because there is something that I say at the end of all my broadcasts. And I would, if you say test the spirits by the Spirit, well, I think that would be very fitting. Whosoever shall. And so is there, I get the scriptures. How does that relate to me? Because you would actually have to be proving that what I'm saying is somehow false, because that's breaking a blatant commandment. So all of your high and mighty putting your scriptures in the conversation here with no context going anywhere. Do you want to make a point? You know, you want to see my Bible or my Apocrypha? They're right here. I could pull up the blue letter on my phone. I don't know what you want. What are you doing here? I don't get it. What are you trying to do? Oh, I'm going to get him because I know the Bible. Really? Do you want to come up here and do you want me to shoot the link? Do you want some of this? Let me know. Because see, I see this and I know how much of a coward you are, because you're not a Christian. You're a fanatical loser. And what you think you're doing is just not what you're doing. What you're doing right now is vanity. And guess who the father of vanity is? See, what you're trying to do is be seen for what reason? You're going to try to hide behind the Bible, and you're going to hide your own dirty, wicked, vain self behind these scriptures. God hates liars, and even more so does he hate a proud look. And I got nothing but 4 shots of you back to back trying to be seen, being proud. Let's go. Judah, block this 2/3 enjoyer. Now, let's get to the truth. Read them and weep, bastard.
Is being held and talking about expressions of slavery, and you don't even have the black aldermen there. Now, it's not your fault. It's a testimony of just how sorry and pathetic the black aldermen are in City Hall, which has allowed you all to do all type of things that you all shouldn't be allowed to do. But the fact of the matter is the fact that you have Africans in here today talking about expressions of slavery. Slavery in America happened to us, Black Americans.
Now, be gone. Say thank you, Judah. Earl Thomas, welcome. Now, family, let me know if I'm echoing or not. I don't think I should be. Let's see. Make sure I'm not echoing. Hopefully not. Okay, I think we got it. Okay. Am I echoing? Am I still doing the echoing thing? Okay, I think we got it. I hope not. A little. Okay. Yeah, still echoing. That's weird. Okay, let me try something. Okay, can y'all still hear me? Let me know now. Can you still hear me? Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me? Okay, so I know. Okay, I got it. Thank you. That helps. I just got to figure out how I'm working. Cool. Let's roll.
Not them. In fact, the Africans of today don't even associate themselves with Black Americans.
Ain't that the truth?
They don't even associate themselves with us. In their little minds, they think they're superior to us. So for them to come over here and think that they should be getting some type of rights and in the conversation of slavery is a straight up insult. Now, what you all are trying to do is bring them in on this immigration jump. That's what y'all trying to do. You're trying to bring them in on this immigration jump when you know doggone well the conversation of slavery is not behind Black immigrants have yet to address that issue. And you, Sanchez, Rodriguez Sanchez, you won't even give me the dignity of talking about the hate crime bill for Black people that I was trying to get going. And you're going to have the audacity to try to bring them in here and try to front like you're trying to do something for Black people.
Now, see, and these are the type of things that do not get checked by all of these people who spend their every waking moment and day online bashing foundational Black Americans for demanding to be respected. Because see, this is disrespect by people who people who come here. This whole 14th Amendment ordeal means everybody who comes here knows what happened to us. And they came here to benefit from it. You know how sometimes you hear pan-Africanists try to tell us how the Africans don't know what happened to us? Everybody who comes to America trying to get birthright citizenship is aware of what happened to us because that's how they get it. So this is what we have to understand. Don't let people keep gaslighting you and lying to you, telling you what these people are unaware of, because then they'll turn right around and play in your face just like this. This is overtly, egregiously disrespectful. How do you come into these folks' neighborhoods while you won't even return the calls of your actual citizens? That's insane. And wow. So why should we keep supporting these people as a Black community? Why should they get our future and our future children's votes? Why? When we're being done like this, and everybody who is benefiting from being in that position knew that they got it on the blood, backs, and bodies of foundational Black Americans. Don't ever allow yourself to continue to be disrespected when you see them doing it.
They're not, but we're not going to waste our time in here. The real fight is going to be taking place federally. So whatever y'all think y'all going to do today, it's just a matter of time. It's going to get undone. Before y'all get real comfortable, don't unpack your clothes, because you're going to get sent back. You better check that paperwork, because if it ain't right, ICE coming to get y'all too. I don't care if your skin is black. You don't get to come over here and ride the Black American wagon for something that you think you're going to get. Don't look at that clock like you rushing me, because I'm going to see you in a form much bigger than this in a forum that's going to be bigger than 3 minutes. You can believe that. And anything you think that you're going to do today, it's going to get undone. Africans are not Black Americans. The slave trade was on us, not them. They don't even associate with us. Don't play no games with Black people. That's why the Democrat Party in trouble right now, messing with Black people, not them, not them. We got the power in America. You better understand that. Watch.
Salute with both hands to that sister. Good Lord, she Conan cut them folks. Yeah, salute to her. Man, let me tell you something. I don't personally support turning red. I believe we be independent. But as a person of my lineage, she has every right to select her political decision, because see, that's the freedom of understanding our empowerment. She sees, okay, this is going in this direction, but she is literally calling out the wrong being done to us. We're not seeing that on the Democrat side. All we are seeing is gaslight, 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 Black immigrants. We're not concerned about Black immigrants. We're concerned about ourselves. We have a different claim than everyone else. And family, I need y'all to understand this entire thing it's multi-layered, but best believe our reparations is in it. And another reason why they're wanting to say that we sound like white supremacists and we are white supremacist adjacent, let's clarify something. If they sound anything like us, is because we, like all other things, led the trend, not them. Those are our words in the Supreme Court. Right here, from these microphones, from you in those spaces, from you in all of these different mediums. That didn't come from no MAGA, nothing. And they want to. It ain't stopping nothing. So we're going to get to that, because they're not going to play these clips for you because it doesn't benefit Democrats at all. So you're not going to hear this truth that was actually going forth, that actually you never hear Democrats talk positive about us at all. But you're going to hear Republicans literally use our talking points on the floor. They called out Tethers. Earl Thomas Knox, salute to you and thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Man, peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you and welcome. And we got our good brother, Church of Black Power. Man, I caught part of your broadcast the other day. You was cooking. Because I had time during the week. So I was actually able to catch that. It's like, man, I'm not getting my notifications. So just FYI. Family, this is how YouTube, Black YouTubers get done. You know, I should be getting my brother's notifications, but I don't. So you should go to the page and the bell is marked, but you know, you know that goes. So salute to our brother, Church of Black Power. Make sure you go subscribe to this channel as well. And you know, another element of the voices out here. He actually has a TikTok too, so check our brother out. And as you see, you know, shouting out to the community that we have been able to foster in this space over the past few years, and they act like it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. It did not. But salute to our brother, Church of Black Power. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member. And thank you for being a voice of the new black media. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, Reginald Jeter in the building. What's going on? South Carolina in the building. Salute to you, my man. Yes, sir. And oh, my goodness. Church of Black Power been a member for 17 months. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, brother. Man, I salute to you, man. Oh, man, that's dope. Hey, we got Lynette Williams in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here, Montgomery, Alabama. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, sir. Man, already. Already. Man, okay. So, let's see where we need to go to next. Okay. So, as we're talking about this reparations conversation, y'all have to understand, man. DSM Sinister in the building. Salute to you. Happy New Black Media Appreciation Month to you as well. Thank you for your support of these voices. Salute to you. Now, let's get over here to what these Africans are doing. This is what's going on in their community, folks.
Manasseh, when he says those who benefited, that's an European conception of harm. So even though slavery was, slaves were exploited for the benefit of the state, even in America today, to be able to establish, that you to benefit from any arrangement that compensates you as a descendant of a slave, they must trace the root because it's individualistic. We Africans,
it doesn't work like that here.
It doesn't work like that.
You touch
here.
one, you touch all.
All. That's how we work. That's how Africans. That's
so
our worldview.
So it should be.
Y'all catching that? So because we supposedly descend from them, right? That so they are our root. And so because they are our root, they should also be included on our reparations. Do they think everybody over here is in the mind state to fall for the Nigerian prince scam? I mean, is this what we're really doing? Whew. Wow. I mean, because you are insinuating that we are descendants from Ghana, then so we have to go back to the root. And so if we get reparations, we need to be figuring out how to get Africa the money. But also at the same time, Africa, Ghana, they need to make sure that they just go in there and make sure that they get their piece, because they're the root of us of all. They are our ancestors. Boy, they sure look young for being 600 years old. Anyway.
Continent-wide.
Wide.
Or nation-wide.
No, it's continent.
Continent-wide.
That's why.
But he says.
That's why for the first time, 56 African nations
agreed.
Were united in their belief that this is the way.
But Manasseh says target the Caribbean, target the Black Americans. They are the ones who suffered directly. They can trace it to their great grandfather who was put in a ship and moved from Elmina all the way to only God knows where. But not you, Inusa Fuseni, who is in Ghana, who was not affected in any way from Tamale.
Those of our ancestors who could confer benefit on us, who were traded, who were moved to the United States, constituted a loss to us. Constituted a loss to us, whether within families or within nation states. And that's how we must look at it.
Say, y'all, I got a bridge to sell you, right? And look here. See, if you get in on this deal right now, I could save you a ton of money. See, what you don't understand, see, under the bridge, if you dig deep, now it's going to take you a little bit of work to get there. But see, there is a boatload of treasure at the base of this bridge. But see, here's the thing, man, you got to buy the bridge. So if you own the rights of the bridge, well, then you can get all the treasure that's down there. Like I said, brother, it's going to take a lot of work. But look, I mean, I got this right now, but you got to move on it right now, man. I mean, I got so many people coming at me right now. They want this deal. What you going to do? What in the hell kind of con man talk is this? Good grief. I mean, come on. Really, dude? Kid wouldn't even understand the Africans. They talk endlessly in circles. Well, that's because he was bullshit. He's just a bad one. Because he's trying to be like, hey, so I'm like halfway entitled to your paycheck. I mean, I don't work your job, but I mean, because we've a leader and all, I mean, I'm kind of do. Oh. You can't even reason with the logic of that kind of scammy mentality. And thank you for being a member. By the way, salute to you. Let me get you up here. Nope. No, there you go. Azure Nimble Nimbus. Yes, indeed. Salute. Scamming tether coasters. Oh my goodness. Oh, brutal. First class citizen. Yes, indeed. Grand evening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You said PDF. That's PDX. But I'll cut you some slack because I'm sure that might have been a type autocorrect. Oh, hey, Key Prince in the building. Salute to you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here and appreciate you as always. Thank you for being a member. Salute to you. I think I was looking like you're one of like 38 month. I think you're almost like 40 month members. So thank you so much. Chief Fredman? I said, okay. Thing with our reparations, restoration, and redress is the fact that Africans and Middle Eastern countries owe us too. And we as FBA/Indigenous Black Americans need to address it. Oh, very much so. And that, well, see, that's why they're also getting in front of that. You feel what I'm saying? 37 months. I was I was short a month. 37 months. Thank you so much, and salute to you, Key Prince. Thank you for being a member so long. Wow. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. Salute to you. Oh, man. Yeah, so that is just super duper scammy. Well, yeah, we need ours. Oh, but see, there was actually somebody that spoke the truth. Let me show this guy. Because he did actually show the truth.
So the disagreement on my part is that if there are to be any reparatory payments, those of us in Africa should not receive it.
Now, there's the truth. There is the truth. Oh, it is all good, first class citizen. Don't even think twice about it. It is all good. So he spoke the truth. Like, yeah, nobody in Africa should be getting that. It's real. It's real talk. But see, a lot of these people who they got these little side deals, like, 19 Keys. They got these little, side deals with African governments. And so they're trying to protect the investment of their investors over there. Lord knows who that is. And meanwhile, I hope y'all understand. These people try to act like they so super deep. And I've done lectures in this country. And, the more I see it in 19 Keys, he's quite pompous. Oh, well, let me not say pompous. Let me say arrogant. And when somebody responds in the manner to which I've seen his response, the one where he's sitting in the couch, and I'm not going to give any time to this because I've done this and I've done that, and I'm from Oakland and I stand on business. I was been wondering where 19 Keys is from, and I'm like, oh, now I know he's from the Bay. It's like, okay, you must come from the preacher group. He must come from the preacher class. Is 19 Keys FBA? Looking at his hustle, I could say so. I don't think a foreigner has the savvy to jump in his kind of hustle lane. If that makes sense. That's a real townish move. But he went the safe route. Still a hustler, but it's a safe hustle. It's technically legal. Now, if you want to talk about ethics, well, that's a whole different conversation. But I would just say this. Church. What? Okay, because I'm saying, somebody's like, oh yeah, if y'all from the East Coast, y'all might look and just immediately jump just because of what he's doing. No, that is not a trait of a foreigner. He has all the traits in the game of us. That's why he's moving in that hustle lane. You understand? So that's exactly, he ain't got to send nothing. He ain't got to move nothing. He ain't got to go pick up nothing. But and this is just my speculation, if he was in that life, he'd probably be good at it. It's just fortunate sometimes, people with certain skill sets choose legal hustles because they'd be great criminals. Chalk it up to his intelligence. Say too much shit. That's easy. That's an easy read. Anyway, let's keep moving. Maybe we got to do a Q&A, off-script Q&A or something one day. It's just like, hey, ask your questions on what to read. It's off the record. My wife ordered something. Look at some of my kids. What the hell is this? That's not one of my children. Facts. I wonder how that coffee company going in Ghana after the flood. The Lord, you know, make it members only. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking too. You know, just yeah, absolutely. It's like, yeah, that would be a members only one. Watch all of, hey, that one right there. If I announce that, boy, I'm going to have 20 new members. I could chalk up 4 of them accounts probably to my old moderator. It's so funny when people getting exposed on their burners. Hey, you know what? I wasn't even going to do this. Hold on. Wait. What do I have this here? Hold on. That was something I saw. It made me think of, you know, scenarios that people could find themselves in. Where are you? Let's see. Oh, there you go. Let's see if we can get this done quick. Come on now. Really? Okay, I was gonna say. Hold on. Okay, let me download you. Okay. Judah, you still in here? Let me play something real quick. And folks, y'all have to be careful out here because there are people out here who there are people out here who absolutely lack integrity. And, you know, they will do things and then they will, behind the scenes, really be the culprit of trouble. And, you know, you just got to understand, and sometimes people are like this.
This get crazy as hell. See, this the shit that lied to her baby daddy and said that their son ain't breathing. And so he on the way over there, and now she trying to knock herself out and make it like he did it.
Hello?
See, this the ghetto shit.
Yes, I need help. I'm at 3901 Queensboro Drive. It's my baby daddy. He attacked me. And he said he's gonna kill me. Ma'am, you're there now. No, he said he's gonna come back and finish the job. Please send him now, please. I have a unit en route, ma'am. Keep your doors locked until they arrive.
She ain't shit.
I just seen the viewers shoot up too. It is a Tubi movie. It could be a Tubi movie based off of this YouTube channel. Woo! Tales of a former moderator for beatzillapdx.
Ma'am, do we need to get a paramedic on the scene? No, I should be okay.
call him a play. Like I said, I wasn't even going to go there, but since I was there for the moment, whew, oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. Oh. And folks, remember.
God bless America. God bless America. And no place else.
All right. So remember when I believe that's my last, well, actually, no, the last video was not alive, but my last broadcast, I went over the angry fake trucker video. Well, there's been somebody else that made a rebuttal video to him, and it's the sister on TikTok. She actually now started her YouTube channel as well, but this is from her TikTok, the Theo. So you'll see her name in the video. So she did a response to this guy. It's hilarious, and I'm glad that people are calling out this fake vibrato. I'm sick of you, FBA bitches. I hate you. I can't stand you. You're just supposed to be next to the white man. God, calm down, dude. Like, you can't flesh out a point. Who are you mad at? Then you're trying to recruit people. I don't want to be part of your movement. Like, ain't nobody recruit. So wait. So you actually are doing all of this vibrato based on a lie? Good going. So let's see.
More than white supremacists adjacent. They're sellout adjacent. They're whitewashed adjacent. I don't want to hear nothing from no FBA members about them trying to be a part of the conversation as it pertains to that UN meeting.
I didn't catch that the first time. And again, folks, so you know, I'm not homophobic, but I didn't catch that the first time. Wait a minute. What'd you say, brother?
Adjacent. They're sellout adjacent. They're whitewashed adjacent. I don't want to hear nothing from no FBA members.
Oh, that's when it slips out. Yeah, oh yeah, I don't give a damn about no FBA. I don't want to hear nothing from no FBA members. Yeah, what's wrong with y'all? Totally missed that the first time around. Anyway, let's continue.
About them trying to be a part of the conversation as it pertains to that UN meeting with Ghana bringing the transatlantic slave trade to the conversation and trying to get us reparations, which, by the way, thank you to Ghana, thank you to all of Africa.
Speaking with a lot of passion, and he seems to be under the impression that reparations for the continent of Africa, for Ghana or whoever, is.
I'm just saying, didn't he pull that out real quick? Member. Oh, okay.
Somehow going to benefit the entire Black world or Black populations around the world. Idea from that. So Ghana getting reparations is not going to do anything for you, sweetheart, or anybody in the Americas at all. Their reparations talk wouldn't have anything to do with us, right? Like, so whatever it is that they would get, it's not going to benefit us. It wouldn't even be possible for it to benefit us. They wouldn't even have a way to make reparations in Ghana benefit Black Americans. So I'm not even really sure why you're so passionate about that. Like, why are you passionate about that at all? These are going to have to be two separate conversations. And that's all we saying is, you know, he came over here, the Ghana president came over here doing this little ritual on our if you go talk about reparations, that talk really doesn't have anything to do with Black Americans. Our reparations talk is completely different from theirs. So let's not try to make them one and the same, because if we do, it's not going to benefit us at all. And then you got to ask yourself too, honey, when any country in Africa that gets any type of aid, does their government normally hoard it for themselves and hoard the wealth for themselves, or do they normally use the money to help their people and to help build their societies? history has shown that they normally hoard it to themselves. So if they're not even going to help their own people, what the hell would make you think that they were going to help or do anything for us? They don't have a reason to.
All you FBA bitches, stop following me, group me into your punk ass white supremacist ass movement.
Golly, I didn't realize how much he actually does come off like too loud and too wrong. Man, I think he was hiding it a little better. Because remember, I didn't go that far into this video to where he gets down to the end, to where he's talking about people wanting to recruit him and stop it. What's happening here? This is almost like when that one fellow was in the spaces with Tariq and his woman, and he went from being manly to something else. Better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I don't want to be a part of.
He's lying. Nobody, black FBA people, foundationally black American people, are not in other people's comment section recruiting them, because there's nothing to recruit into. It's not a group. There's nothing to recruit. There's no reason for anybody to do that. So I know he's lying. Okay. And this is a part of the reason why I don't respect Pan-Africans. First of all, they have this like Pan-Africanism, y'all, for real, is nothing more than Black American bashing.
Now, can anybody disagree with her? Oh, Jesus. Ghana was not even called Ghana or Ghana around that time. Yes. And see, no, and what's so crazy about that, Earl, is they bring that up when we have the rebuttal and say, well, they sold folks into slavery. Well, Ghana wasn't even in existence at the time. Well, then how then does Ghana come over here talking about, well, we're ancestors and that? What are you talking about? No, genius. The people who were taken from their ancestors are here and co-mingled with those people who are also from here. Because when you talk transatlantic slave trade, don't we got to get a little specific? There were only 2 nations that sent their slaves to America. And also there was a lot of reclassification going on in America, and there's documented freaking proof of that. There's documented proof of who they saw when they got here. Now, if you were literally, because here's the thing, I know a lot of people look at the Bible and say, the white man did that, did whatever. All of your historians use the Bible as references for timelines, even Ashwakwasi. So the person who's telling you that they got this from ancient Kemet, blah, 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 that's fine. Believe what you will. But what I do want to point out to you is, subsequently, while disproving that same book, they substantiate their points by using the exact same book. Because all of a sudden, then the timelines in the Bible become very definite. So you got to learn how to sift through the bones of information out here. You also got to learn who's bullshitting you. You know? Because if you, right now it's Passover for all intents and purposes. For those people who have funded for years ancient aliens, subsequently now run out to tell you that they built the pyramids. I didn't learn that Jewish people built pyramids in school. And they got a whole thing about ancient aliens building pyramids. But ever since I'd say around 2007-ish. There's been a great need to speed this shift of logic up. For those of us who know what happened in 2007, we would know why they did. And it's because of there's one entity out here that everybody refuses to mention. Now, they will tell you a lot of other groups who have came and went and who have came and got their stuff debunked and destroyed already by these gentlemen. But I've been privy to watch over all of these years how everybody will go out of their way to avoid addressing Great Millstone. And here we are today with everybody wondering what's going on. That's funny. Tariq was able to give you some context because you're not going to follow the biblical historians. But those of us who have been following a lot of these historical things, you already knew. So when Hidden Colors comes along, and this is why a lot of us can appreciate it, it enlightens the rest of everybody who necessarily wasn't in this particular doctrine. And so what a lot of people don't understand, what you guys, the information that you have now, a lot of that comes from Hebrew Israelite history or of teaching. Nobody's going to admit it. But I will tell you the whole fact of how you got the Seminole War conversation, that would come from a brother named Elder Rakah. He did a series on Indian uprisings some years back, which also alludes to how Black Seminoles were already here, because that goes down to describing tribes. But see, that's a different conversation. So I'm just, I just like to, when I see people get out here and start talking crazy, especially about Africa, it really boggles my mind because, like, look at the Hebrews to Negroes guy. This guy and him and Rashad Singleton, these guys were Hebrews. Now all of a sudden they're African. All of a sudden they're pan-African. But like I said, they'll go out there, they'll talk to every other group. Every other group they see, they go talk to Johanna's people. They go talk to Nate. And I am well aware of who these people are beforehand. I got an old video of Polite getting cooked on 7th and 34th in 2013. I have it. I literally got it, of him getting cooked. Knew he was coming and knew he was a scammer. And so, but watch how it all played out. I've been around for a minute. Let me tell you something. I've been around for a minute. And so a lot of these folks that come out here and start telling you, these people just showed up yesterday. No, we've been around so long that we've been able to watch the conspiracy play itself out. To where that tells you it's not a conspiracy. Warren Ballentine, because you wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for him catching the case, rolling. And a lot of us know that. And then because thanks to Kathy Hughes and at the time, your little plug into CNN, if it wasn't for that, man, nobody would give a shit about who Roland Martin was. He benefited from Warren Ballentine catching a case because they were trying to get Warren Ballentine out the paint because he was advising Black folks to file bankruptcy back then that by now would have wiped your credit going into future Wow. Okay. Who? I guess I was on fire. Because they shut my mic smooth off. So, like I said, they had to get Warren Valentine out the paint. Because, yeah, he was trying to get black folks to look at their financial situation and their credit situation and get that thing in order and knowing, hey, these things are coming down the line. And yeah. What are the odds? I tell you, I know that they watch my, my channel is monitored. As a matter of fact, I need to get open to this studio because I know how they do, and they be messing with my numbers. That's why I had to call out my numbers in my other lives, because that's the stuff they do to me. And then you'll be like, oh, ain't nobody watching him. I had 7,000 people in my live. Now, what you need to ask yourself is, how does a person with 3,000 subscribers have 7,000, almost 8,000 people in one live? And then ask yourself, why the hell are they worried about shadow banning him to that extent? Maybe because what I say is true. Just like I said, great millstone, great millstone, great millstone. You can't erase it. Good grief. Where the truth resides. And also you could find it right here. So let me tell you something. These people know exactly what they're doing. When they go talk to Bishop Nathaniel, when they go talk to everybody with Johanna, what's Tazariak, and all of these other groups, when they go tell you that they are the representatives of what a Hebrew Israelite is, just know that every last one of them is selling you a bill of goods because they know better and they know different and they know exactly who's who. When I met Sankofa back in 1990, that's before I met my wife. So 95 or 96. Yeah, 95 or 96. And he was asking me, because we got into kind of a deep conversation. So he was like, damn, you sound like these brothers out in New York. Well, out in Connecticut. And so he asked me if I knew them. And I was like, no. I was like, but however, I'm familiar with one guy. And he was like, oh, he used to be with them. That was Johanna. Because if you guys are familiar back when you used to hear the guy that come on cable say, wake up, wake up. That's General Johanna. And that was his outfit. But that's a whole long story. But I'm saying all this to say that a lot of these people who are around today were around then. And so we're aware of, I'm most definitely aware of who's a scam artist in front of you because I seen them when they were getting started. I've watched Polite's entire career. He was so pissed off at GMS that he wanted the Crips all around the United States to go jump on these guys at camps because he got embarrassed trying to take that weak debate that he is to some real scholars. And he got his ass lit up. Him, and matter of fact, he was with, who brought him? The other guy. The Pan-African Don King dude. Who's that? What's that guy's name? He's actually Dominican. What's that dude's name? He does all the like debates, the black debates. Something TV. Kind of look like Taharka Bay, or is that his name? Taharka Bay? Kind of look like him. What's that dude's name? Somebody in the chat, help me out. Who's the guy that promotes the debates and all of that? What's that dude's name? Sanetta. Thank you. Thank you, Sarnetta. And that's how I first saw Polite, was Sarnetta back in 2013, 14, 2014, I think. Oh, no, it might be 13. I think that's, towards the end of the year. So that might be still 2013, somewhere around there. But, saying that to say, these are people, Nassar and Suit and Seti. No, but he was around as well, General Seti, as well as the Shaka Moist. And also, what I'm telling you is, I knew when we kind of got rolling here who was going to buck. And I know why, because I already saw what their issue is. See, for me, family, if y'all, a little known fact about me is I come to you fully delineated. So when you first know me, you know me to be completely delineated. I have never associated with Africa because I've never hid what I am. I'll tell you right off the rip, I am an Israelite. I don't have to put Hebrew on it. You can just call us what we are. Now, and what have I always said? I'm not doing this broadcast to preach. I'm doing this broadcast for practicality. My belief and my faith most definitely fuel what I do. But I absolutely, again, I take it back to the Bible, not religion. And so if you look at Moses for real, Moses was about his people. And if you look at what all these stories in the Bible were about, is about these people who were willing to ride for their people, not some fictitious, fantastical idea that we're going to be shouting on Sunday. No, this is saying I need for you and your children to be able to eat tomorrow. That is most practical as you can get. But church ain't going to give you that. But one thing we most definitely can do is move with what God given us to work with. And so if whatever's reflective in that work, let that be. Like the person said earlier in my chat, test that spirit by the Spirit then. Test those works against the word. It's in the scripture, brother. Yeah, I'll leave that open for you. Now, let's this sister finish. I went on a tangent long enough.
All they do is bash Black Americans. That's their whole, they don't do nothing to progress Africa. They're not in Africa doing any kind of work, any kind of charitable work. They're not making donations. They're not building anything in Africa. All they do is sit here in the comfort of the United States.
Facts.
And complain about other Black Americans.
Facts.
And about how we should worship Africa and how African is better, even though they don't want to live there. And they do. I mean, they literally don't do anything else except bash Black Americans. So I just don't respect it. I mean, I'm glad to see you're passionate about something, but that the reparations talk, honey, it's not going to benefit you. But more power to you. I mean, I hope that you get what you're looking for, even though I know you won't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said you knew them guys were clout chasers back then and charlatans. Facts. And like she said, they hate on us all day. And I brought all of them up to say, I knew then that we affect their revenue stream. And what they were looking to do, they were looking through their business moves with Africa. They thought that they were going to be able to establish some kind of Black thought university. I'm like, boy, them Africans had y'all niggas fooled. Yeah, they're gonna work with you. They don't do nothing that benefits us as a whole. But they're over there dealing with you because you can get them mainline connections to American money. And then these Negroes come over here telling us, I was treated great over there. Yeah, because you're the way into the money. So, of course, they kissed your ass. Big shock. And they come over here telling us, man, we were treated great. Okay, I still don't see the banner waving saying Black Americans come home and get citizenship. But instead, we're saying we're xenophobic. How? Because you're hating on immigrants. That's one of the most irritating tactics to me ever. Hey, I wronged you. Well, let's forget about it. That was yesterday. Let the past be the past. Come on. Hey, why are you bringing up all stuff? Jeez. And like, again, going back to saying they speak on us every day. It's not just in the comment sections, but it's in their podcast too.
Let me tell you some of those members. Tariq Nasheed, one that broke my heart, Lord Jamal.
Listen, y'all.
From Brand Nubian.
Them niggas is agents.
You weren't surprised by Lord Jamal?
I wasn't surprised.
Why? I'm about to say you should not be surprised.
I wasn't surprised because he's a contrarian nigga.
Yeah, he is. He's very much.
But because this is so
go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but because of how this is disorganized, is different factions within this. Y'all, I don't know if it's just me, but can y'all not see that this is some CIA shit? This is COINTELPRO.
Honey. When has guerrilla warfare ever been considered COINTELPRO? She just described guerrilla warfare. I guess in this sense, it would be guerrilla warfare as in information and idea war. And she's describing guerrilla tactics. Usually the people who are reduced to guerrilla tactics aren't backed by the establishment. So her setup to get to, well, isn't this CIA? You just described guerrilla tactics. And maybe that's just, her Sankofa ignorance. But the woman King Mott, no, that's not the doctor. Side note, has the doctor abandoned her quest to get that formal apology from Howard for Dr. Francis Cress Welsing or not? Just a thought, since the name was brought up, I was just like, oh yeah. Did she just abandon that when she started buddying up with the Africans? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's go.
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but because of how this is disorganized, is different factions within just me. But can y'all not get some CIA shit? This is COINTELPRO.
How can you get to a COINTELPRO if there's different factions and it's disorganized? You describe it as being disorganized. Doesn't that say a leaderless movement? Then how did you get to it being CIA? See, these are the things I need people to make these clear connections on. Hey, I see you got your. Why is your handle your full name, Tanya? Tanya Zion in the building. Tanya Zion in the building. Salute to you, good sister. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm just, are y'all catching that? You're gonna say that we're disorganized. So that's not an organization. It can't be CIA funded because there's no association with one or the other. And in your self-description of it, you state that. And then say, can't y'all see that's a CIA psyop? That's COINTELPRO, y'all. It's not given to us by the people. I mean, how much organic do you need it to be? See Terry in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Black first. Nice try.
Yeah.
Because it just came out of nowhere.
Like, oh girl, Huey P. New's niece from the, who was about to sue the guys in Philly.
In Philly. That little
she under the FBA action.
So wait a minute. Let's and this is thanks Don Solomon for this. Again, you give great content on providing us with all of the ops that they want to run out. So if not for you, we wouldn't really have put these, people on notice. So salute to you, Don Solomon, because you will be the first to run out these shields that have absolutely no legs. And we get a chance to chop them off at the knees early. So salute to you. Thanks, man. Thanks for all your help for this movement. Appreciate you, Don Solomon. Keep the pan-African hustle going, because without you, we couldn't kick y'all ass.
Let me tell you some of those members. Tariq Nasheed, one that broke my heart, Lord Jamal.
Listen, y'all.
From Brand Nubian.
Them niggas is agents.
You weren't surprised by Lord Jamal? And her head all wrapped up. She looking like some tea sipping sister and all of that. And she, look, y'all, them niggas is agents. Tell us how you really feel, sis. Thank you for the super sticker. See, Terry, I appreciate it so much. Peace, power, blessing, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. The agent talk is just a beast to me. Now he was an agent. White Line was going through a lot of states setting up black folks. For real. For real. This is ridiculous. Anyway. Come on now.
I wasn't surprised.
Why? I'm about to say you should not be surprised.
I wasn't surprised because he's a contrarian nigga.
Yeah, he is. He's very much.
But because this is so
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but because of how this is disorganized, is different factions within this. Y'all, I don't know if it's just me, but can y'all not see that this is some CIA shit? This is COINTELPRO.
It's funny. This is when you don't really have a solid explanation, but you are sent out there to make sure you get certain talking points. And so, it's funny because it's boiling down to this birthing situation. And again, all of this spawns off of reparations. And it's funny. This is 2026. People, please stop saying we just popped out of here. Are you recognizing this is 2026? Y'all heard, I remember doing a live podcast for the Hillary Clinton primary debate. So you hear these people say, these people just popped out of nowhere. 10 years ago? 10 years ago? I mean, back in 2012, I told you I wasn't an African, but okay, let's go. I'll give you 2016. Still? No, nothing then. Oh, they're just popping out here. Really? Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, Oh, but see, in the meantime, this is the kind of conversation that goes on in Africa.
So the next question will be, if reparations were to really happen,
yes,
how would they look like? Experts have floated figures as high as 24 trillion US dollars to account for centuries of unpaid labor and resource extraction, though no consensus exists.
Yes.
We also have the National African American Reparations Commission proposing this particular figure.
Yes.
These funds are dished out or disbursed. They could help maybe build Africa so that it could be a better place.
Yeah, but the problem is there is no framework.
There's no framework, of
Yes.
course, but there are hopes that it could potentially.
How do we get when you so you understand the conversation is all about the years of slavery, because when you're talking about hundreds of years of slavery, see, you could, for them, the conversation stops at the transatlantic slave trade. When you're talking about hundreds of years of slavery, that now has nothing to do with Africa. However, if you read the bill, like I put the PDF download in the last video, you'll see that the very base talking point of Ghana's little attempted grift has to do with the slave trade here. What this, or the slave years of slavery here, shall I say, and then what this woman just told you, years of unpaid labor. That's Black America. But the first thing she's talking about is how that can help beautify Africa. Why the hell would the money and all of these trillions that belong to us go to a different continent? We are getting that money because we are American citizens from the foundation of its creation. So there is no, we got to give them. No, we built a country over here. It has nothing to do with you. And that, like the video earlier where my man is saying that, you know, like, we're ancestors. They are ancestors, and see, that's how we're connected. And it's singularism or whatever he's saying, individualism. We're not individuals. We are a group of people. So it's not individualism. It's you don't got in on this, man.
Initially, come to fruition.
Yes.
Public opinion also remains very divided. There was a 2021 Pew survey that found only about 3 in 10 U.S. adults said descendants of enslaved people in the U.S. should receive repayment, in some form, such as land or money. So it's safe to say that Americans view the prospect of reparations mostly very, very negative. They don't see like something that should even happen.
Yeah, and
that's not true. What you are leaving out is the element of anti-Black hatred. And so let me give you an element of what anti-Black hatred looks like in the continent of Africa.
Following up on our recent video, which pointed out that the data show Black people were least desired, we've come to the streets of Nigeria to check it out from an African perspective.
I'll be honest with myself. I find attractive white. And then, if black and the skin is glowing, like shiny, very fresh.
I would like to point out something at this very second. Colorism being so greatly important is not an American issue. Did you hear the man? Did you hear what he said? He's not going to be the only one. Enjoy.
Honestly, I admire that skill.
For me, I find Korean people attractive.
Korean.
Yes.
Why do you prefer light skin though?
Well, I think I just like it, and it's more attractive. To be fair, light skin is more attractive than black. In terms of beauty.
Wow. Light skin is more attractive than dark skin. Then that's what you're getting over in the continent. A bunch of self-hating Nigerians. Get out of here. Tell me you don't know who you are. You have no culture. Really? Man, miss me. Let's see here. Where do we need to go? Oh, and to add insult to injury, this right here.
The majority of Americans across the country, regardless of political party, know that immigrants from all over the world, Somalia, India, wherever they're from, Latin America, Africa, that immigrants have built this country and make this country what it is today.
Immigrants built this country. That line right there, how they don't see the disrespect in that is amazing. Let's see, where should I start? Let's go to let's go to Ann Coulter. Let's go to Ann Coulter.
General Sauer finished his very brief argument, came from the generally silent Justice Clarence Thomas. And what did he ask about? Dred Scott. How does this relate to Dred Scott? Because that's the point. The 14th Amendment, and it really annoys me that they applied it to a Chinese guy when they should have just said, your property has been taken. You're being deprived of life. Well, you're being deprived of liberty and property without due process, just being excluded after running a business and owning all this property back in San Francisco. But like I say, illegal immigration wasn't a problem, so it didn't really occur to them, oh, let's just give away citizenship. So very interestingly, I thought one of two black justices was zeroing in on that point, which is why I wonder about Ketanji Brown Jackson on this. I mean, doesn't it matter to her that, the Civil War, these are post-Civil War amendments? Aren't African Americans getting sick of every immigrant group piggybacking on their experience?
Well, when you come from a background to where you do not share that experience, then that's why Clarence Thomas can ask certain questions. But old Ketanji Brown, Jackson, is, she doesn't have the connection. And we'll never forget what her mother said. We played it right here years ago. If I have to go dig that up, I will. But remember when her mother was over there in Jamaican morning news, and she told her, that lady on that news channel, about how it is raising a Jamaican daughter? And now here we go, everybody coming right around our face. Funny how the Democrats double dipped in Jamaica. We got Kamala Harris by way of her daddy, who's a coolie. Anybody is familiar with Caribbean Indians? These people who are history for that matter. Oh, he's Jamaican. So they tried to do Jamaican means black. Jamaican does not mean black. Because what about them Chinese folks in Jamaica? The Chinese in Puerto Rico aren't Puerto Rican ethnically. Jeez. But guess what the biggest food that they eat in Puerto Rico is? Chinese food. Biden's racist, SSA dude. He chose a dumb tether. Absolutely. And so Ann Coulter is just reiterating what she's already said. And so now when we get to the recording that we're going to go through, you'll hear what she's talking about. So this is what we have been saying about why delineation is necessary and why we cannot continue to keep electing non-foundational Black Americans to represent us in political positions.
America, as I've said a million times, all discrimination laws, you should be able to discriminate against whomever you want except African Americans. We have carved out a special position.
Her, as a white woman, said, realistically, we should be able to discriminate against everybody else except for Black Americans, but explains the reason. And there is a reason. Ain't no other group. So also what she did there is also in one fell swoop, take away everybody's lie that their plight is somehow like ours, because of course we know it's not. But yeah. Oh, this is going to get brutal from here on out.
About 200 years in this country. I'm not sure affirmative action always works well. Yet, and still, the idea that they're extending it to women and gays and the disabled, no. And Ketanji Brown Jackson generally, 2 more points on that. I will take 8 Ketanji Brown Jacksons over a single William Brennan. And finally, 1 point in her favor, interestingly enough, when the NRA sued New York State for, I don't know if you remember, well, of course, New York State, they're coming up, the Attorney General there, the one who went after Trump, was
Letitia James. Letitia James is her name. That's the name that's escaping you, Ann.
Also just trying to, yes, she's just trying to put conservative businesses or operations like the NRA, like VDARE, the immigration website, out of business through, those were the first lawfare cases. Ketanji Brown Jackson, I believe she was agreeing that what New York State had done was outrageous. It was discriminatory. It was
so she'll say, and so let me set this up and then we're going to go straight to DC. So first, let me play a piece of this sister's video.
They don't want to tell you guys.
Original Black American woman. I'm actually going to put the link to her channel. I meant to do it before, but I got caught up. So I'm going to put that in the description of this video when this is over so you guys can go to her channel and show her some love. But I want to get to the end, kind of the end part of her video, because this is kind of a longer video. But she makes some great points. And so James is another tether just like Jackson. That's right. Damn. See, that's not being xenophobic. That's being smart. We need somebody who is from us. Good grief. Like, yeah. Let's hear what this sister really caught here.
The ethnic Black Americans set the precedent for birthright citizenship, but it was only for them. Wong Ark came along and then he said, well, I'm a citizen, and he reset it by saying, my parents were legal residents and then they have me, so I'm a citizen. Trump's people are saying, listen, the only people that were really supposed to be in this country for birthright citizenships are ethnic Black Americans. When Wong Ark came, they adjusted it and said, okay, hey, your parents were legal residents, and they had you here, so yes, we'll have to begrudgingly accept that you're a citizen because of the Chinese Exclusion Act. The Chinese could not be citizens or something like that. Like, look it up, because I'm kind of winging it there, but they had a Chinese Exclusion Act, and I think the Chinese couldn't even be citizens at that time. We were the only ones who could be citizens. The Chinese could not be citizens. Anybody who was non-white could not be a citizen in this country. And of course, the Native Americans never really, I think they had their reservations, so they didn't really, you know. The Mexicans who were absorbed into Texas and Utah at the time, like they were absorbed into, once the war ended, they were absorbed into citizenship by a treaty, not the Constitution. They were indirectly became citizens through the Constitution through a treaty. We, as ethnic Black Americans, are the only ethnic group, and I can't say for the Native Americans for sure, but I know they won the reservation, so I don't even know if they had to be citizens. They're Native Siberian Americans, so
their treaty or their citizenship actually came quite a bit after ours. Yeah, their experiences came quite a bit out of ours. I like her, but I don't think that she likes the term foundational at all. You know, I was wondering about that, you know, and I've seen some of her videos. 1924, thank you. Yeah, you know, I'm sure people have their issues. But you know, she makes some good points. You know, just for the sake of giving the content creator their proper due. but I can't co-sign anything else that this woman is saying out here. So she's on like the anti-FBA train, which it doesn't sound like here, but she might have an issue with the term, and I could get that. I'm fine with that because it's not, terms is not serious. That's not an issue for me. It's all that other, this is a cult and this is a hate group and this is CIA and this is all that. That's where we start having issues. But if she has, you know, issues like when people, where they're indigenous or where this, where that, as long as it's lineage based and we need to get the wording right when it's time to get that wording right on black and white, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, who's going to try to be like, y'all have to apply for citizenship? So absolutely, ethnic Black Americans were the only ones written it directly into the Constitution for certain rights. Mm-hmm. Everybody else had to fight for those or piggyback off of our constitutional rights to expand it for themselves. And they are really trying to hide this. The news keeps talking about Wong and Art, Trump, judges, all this stuff, but they're hiding the crux and the fruit of the argument, which is the fact that birthright citizenship was only intended for the ethnic Black American. Ever since that moment, anything else that has been changed because of that or adjusted has just been an expansion on that. And now Trump is saying that expansion was not lawful and that he wants to go back to the original intent of it. And if they're going to have to uphold Wong and Ark, then they want it only to be legal residents or citizens that can have a child that is a native, that is a birthright citizen, not a child born to parents who are illegal or visiting or on a visa. Okay, I hope this explains it. But y'all, this is just very illuminating for us as a group. And this is why lineage is so important. And us reclaiming our lineage, reclaiming who we are, understanding our ethnic group, insulating and gatekeeping is so important. Because these people, I don't care how much y'all think everybody's your friend, they're not. And they're very competitive with us. They're very jealous. And they don't want us to have this kind of power and influence and be this deeply rooted into American law. So, yeah.
Well, I would have to agree with that. Absolutely. I would be curious to know what is her issue with the term foundational Black American? Because I saw, what is that, original Black American that she does? I'm not sure what the issue is there. One thing I've learned over time, situations like that, there's something connectional behind the scenes. I've very rarely ever seen anybody flesh out a real legit, like, this is reason A, reason one, and I have to be even more further honest. It's always the women. Always. And then for the men, that's a whole nother scenario in itself. But like I can say, from one thing I've seen, it usually, she's a sweet and respectful person. So I wonder too. I think, like I said, I think that's one of those people being connected to other people type deal. I could be wrong, but just certain things, you notice. It's like, you could see sometimes people who are connected, although it might not be announced. Just, sometimes you kind of just gotta listen closely to people and what they say. And, I for things that would cross my mind, I would say, okay, well, this person took a safe position and said, I'm going to further the message from but I'm not going to be known as foundational Black American. So I want everybody to know. But what she's saying seems to be in line, but just making sure she's letting everybody know that identifier is different. So yeah, that kind of makes me think those might be connectional issues. Cousin of somebody, childhood friend of that, or former college roommate of somebody that might even favor him. I don't know. But, I'm just saying. It could be anything. But at the end of the day, never forget.
God bless America and no place else.
Oh, Lord. Let's set this up, though, because, see, people will get brand new and they'll be like, oh, man, this is all Trump. Slow your roll a bit.
If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right? Guess again. If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship and guarantee of full access to all public and social services this society provides. And that's a lot of services. Is it any wonder that 2/3 of the babies born at taxpayer expense at county-run hospitals in Los Angeles are born to illegal alien mothers? Just when the American people think nothing can be more absurd than the way we deal, or rather don't deal with illegal immigration, they discover that we have a political asylum system that would qualify us for Senator Proxmire's Golden Fleece Award 1,000 times over. I don't know why he didn't make this award. He should have.
Said Harry Reid has always been a bum. Oh man, that broken clock got it right that day. But it's funny, man. You see how all of this is starting to play out, and then Ketanji really showing herself. Let's get into some of this because it's pretty wild, man. Well, first off, let's start here.
To get rid of birthright citizenship.
And I'm going.
You're going to go to the Supreme Court
I think
tomorrow
so. I do
and
believe
just sit there and listen.
because I have listened to this argument for so long, and this is not about Chinese billion other countries, children in one case, or 10 children becoming American citizens. This was about slaves. And if you take a look, slaves, we're talking about slaves from the Civil War. And if you take a look at when it was filed, all of this legislation, all of this, everything having to do with birthright citizenship, it was at the end of the Civil War. The reason was it had to do with the babies of slaves and the protection of the babies of slaves. It didn't have to do with the protection of multi-millionaires and billionaires wanting to have their children get an American citizenship. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's been so badly handled by legal people over the years. If you look at the original birthright citizenship papers, they all happened right after the Civil War. The reason was had to do with the babies.
Factamundo. And they got a major problem with that. So let's hear Clarence Thomas.
Well, starting with that theory, you obviously put a lot of weight on subject to the jurisdiction thereof. But the examples you give to support that strike me as very quirky. You know, children of ambassadors, children of enemies during a hostile invasion, children on warships. And then you expand it to a whole class of illegal alien group from such tiny and sort of idiosyncratic examples.
There are those sort of narrow exceptions for ambassador foreign public ships, tribal Indians that are very focused on in the debates as well. But what I do is I invite the court to look at 66. And there they didn't say subject to the jurisdiction, the feasible duty of allegiance to the king at any time. So there's a clear repudiation in the Civil Rights Act. The Civil Rights Act is this breakwater which makes it very, very clear that they are not thinking about allegiance in the terms of like the British common law. They've adopted the Republican conception of allegiance. So it's from not subject to any foreign power, and then the debates just a couple months later make it very clear that they're recodifying the same conception. They were dissatisfied with the potential ambiguity in the phrase Indians not taxed, and they adopted subject to the jurisdiction thereof. And one of the strongest statements of this is Senator Trumbull's statement that I quoted at the beginning, where he says, he's asked, what does that mean, subject to the jurisdiction thereof? And he says, it means not owing allegiance to anybody else. That is what it means. And this court picked up on that in Elk against Wilkins when it says, it uses, completely subject to the political jurisdiction, not mere regulatory jurisdiction. What do
you? So they're really arguing. So are you paying attention to how much they are trying to say and fight for what we is for us is supposed to be for everybody else? And see, now this should make a lot more sense onto why everybody else tells us to, hey, wait, we got to think of other groups and we got to think of this group and that group, because they have been exploiting us all of this time. So when you hear these and see these dum-dums hop out there and they say, well, man, Trump has been in office for a year. Democrats been getting the unblocked black vote for 60 plus years. Why are you asking what Trump is going to do within one term when you haven't demanded a damn thing from the Democrats for 60 plus years of support? And one president can get into office and start supposedly dismantling laws that will affect Black America? How? And then you start getting into the elements of these conversations and you start hearing that we actually got a lot more constitutional protection than the Roland Martins and the Al Sharptons in the Congressional Black Caucuses wants to talk about. Why? Because majority of the Congressional Black Caucus is not covered by the Constitution when we are. So that might make them look at laws a little bit differently when it comes to us. Doesn't that make common sense? Sure does to me. That's why I don't want no Jamaican getting up and nowhere talking for me.
And I think there are various sources that say this, that you obviously have permanent allegiance based on being born in whatever country you're from. That's what everybody recognizes. But you also have local allegiance when you are on the soil of this other sovereign. And I was thinking, I'm a U.S. citizen and visiting Japan. And what it means is that, if I steal someone's wallet in Japan, the Japanese authorities can arrest me and prosecute me. It's allegiance, meaning can they control you as a matter of law?
No, that's not what allegiance is. And she knows that. So if you're in another country and you steal from somebody in that country, or you commit an assault against somebody in that country, you're not a citizen of that country when they lock your ass up. Are you kidding? Hold on. I gotta fix the sound again. What's that girl that was over there in Italy that her roommate came up dead and then they put it was Amanda Knox? Amanda Knox is not a citizen over there. But they damn sure locked her ass up. And then that idiot from why is this happening already? What's going on? Y'all hear Mr. Roboto? Hold on. I had to try and fix this again. What's going on? Oh, is it gone? Check. Okay, we'll work with it. Boy, they really messing with this thing today. They want these illegals here. Good grief. Well, let me hurry up.
I can also rely on them if my wallet is stolen to, under Japanese law, go and prosecute the person who has stolen it. So there's this relationship based on, even though I'm a temporary traveler, locally owing allegiance in that sense.
This is a damn judge. She just, while trying to manipulate the conversation and play semantics, she described herself as a visitor, which is if you're just a passing through visitor, then that definitely does not make you a citizen. Think of if you were on a cruise in the Bahamas and you missed your ship. They're not going to be like, oh, well, you could just go ahead and bunker down here. They're going to be like, you need to go to your embassy. Why? Because you're a United States citizen, not a citizen there just because you're there. And what she's saying, so if I was in Japan and I did this, and then you know what you're going to be doing and your family's going to be doing? Calling the United States representative that's in that country to which you just committed a crime in. Nothing changes. And this is a judge getting up here doing this. And this is absolutely idiotic speak for this level of intelligence. So when you see people like, oh, I don't know what the problem is with what Ketanji Brown Jackson said, because no person worth her salt should be speaking like this. The hell is she talking about? And let's not stop there. Let's hear more.
And who would not qualify under your rule. How does this work? Are you suggesting that when a baby is born, people have to how are we determining when or whether a newborn child is a citizen of the United States under your rule?
And I think that's directly addressed in the SSA guidance that's cited in our brief. What SSA says is there's currently a system where, for example, social security numbers are generated based on the birth certificate. They say this can still be, for the vast majority of instances, completely transparent. You will still get a...
Not transparent. I'm just talking about the particulars, because now you say your rule turns on whether the person intended to stay in the United States. And I think Justice Barrett brought this up. So we bringing pregnant women in for depositions. What are we doing to figure this out?
No, as I pointed out earlier, the executive order turns on lawfulness of status. So if you give birth to a baby in the hospital right now, it gets the birth certificate in the system. There's a computer system.
So there's no opportunity. There's apparently no opportunity then for the person to prove or to say.
How would you determine that a baby is a citizen or not when the parent isn't a citizen is a very cut and dry question. Do you see what she's doing? This is the woman that couldn't tell you what a woman was. This is intelligent tomfoolery at its finest. Just flim-flammy bullshit. The hell is she talking about? And so when you go back to what Ann Coulter's saying, what's wrong with Ketanji Brown Jackson? Because this broad is not one of us. That's why. She is an infiltrator. She ain't got nothing to do with us. And you could hear it in her speech. Don't none of us talk like that. She sounds ridiculous. Jeez. Let's see. Let's hear some more. God.
That they had in mind when they adopted the general rule, or do we say they adopted a general rule, they meant for that to apply to later applications that might come up? Justice Scalia had an example that dealt with this situation. He,
shout out to the Black Vanguard,
imagined an old theft statute that was enacted well before anybody conceived of a microwave oven. And then afterwards, someone is charged with the crime of stealing a microwave oven. And this fellow says, well, I can't be convicted under this because the microwave oven didn't exist at that time. And he dismissed that. There's a general rule there, and you apply it to future applications. And what we're dealing with here is something that was basically unknown at the time the 14th Amendment was adopted, which is illegal immigration. So how do we deal with that situation when we have a general rule?
Yeah, I strongly agree with the way that you framed it, that there is a general principle, that's a broad principle that's adopted in the phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof. And we submit that our theory of allegiance and domicile-based allegiance, what explains those specific exceptions that everybody was aware of, but it is broad enough to sweep in future situations. And as you pointed out, illegal immigration did not exist then. Now, the problem of temporary visitors did exist. Commentators going from 1881 until 1922 are uniformly saying the children of temporary visitors are not included. Now that logic, we say, it naturally extends. It's really an a fortiori case. If you have someone who enters illegally by the 1880s, there are restrictions on immigration. If you've entered illegally, it's kind of, a well-established principle of law going back to the Code of Justinian that says you're not allowed to be there. You don't have the legal capacity to create domicile there.
But I think, General Sauer, that what you just said suggests that you can't be arguing in the way Justice Alito suggests, because most of your brief is not about illegal aliens. Most of your brief is about people who are just temporarily in the country, where there was quite clearly an experience of, an understanding of, that there were going to be temporary inhabitants.
But you're saying temporary inhabitants, and that's TPS. So there is an expiration date and a time when they have to go back home. So staying here indefinitely and making those children citizens is not temporary. Do you hear the logic that these people are using to try to get into this conversation? It's very crazy. They sound insane.
Good morning, General. So I guess I am looking at your position in this case, and it boils down to requiring us to do at least these two things. One is believe that the framers were not importing the common law rule and understanding of birthright citizenship. And the second is to believe that what they were doing was departing from that common law rule in the way that you suggest. That is, they were seeking to have this turn on domicile. I think you have a number of hurdles to accomplish those two things.
Notice how you're hearing mostly Ketanji lead the way here. She has a very vested interest at promoting the Democrat agenda of oversaturation of illegals. And doing it, of course, you know, how harmful it already is, and it's been explained, it is to our community, not giving a damn that it's happening, and going full steam ahead in the agenda of saying F Black America. That is not a Black woman. That is a Caribbean, Jamaican woman. She has no allegiance to us. Another reason why we do not need to continue promoting non-foundational Black American representation at all. This experiment has failed us, and it's time to do something else.
One of which I think is that when we look at this court's case law, and no one I think has mentioned Schooner's Exchange, but it appears that that was an 1812 case in which it seems as though the court had already accepted at the time of the ratification of the 14th Amendment that the allegiance that you were talking about was the English common law rule. That, in other words, allegiance meant that you are covered by the laws of the jurisdiction, that you can rely on that jurisdiction's protection. That's what allegiance meant. Now,
so how does that apply to somebody here illegally coming here and then having kids? Because, you know, like, are you hearing what how they're trying to relate allegiance to, like, Black Americans who fought in these wars? That is where the allegiance is. And you got this woman running this con game, asking all of these foolish ass questions like, well, what does this mean? Those are weasel words she's using. That is despicable. There's no honor in what she's doing right now. Again, what is she talking against? Oh, I know, Black birthright. And then you get Al Sharpton and all of these old niggas telling you that if there's an attack on Black America. Where? This isn't an attack on Black America. The attack on Black America is coming out of Ketanji Brown Jackson's mouth right now. Because that is the person who is trying to be the face of the exploitation of Black America. Period.
you're saying today, no, allegiance meant something about loyalty or that kind of idea. But if the Supreme Court had, prior to the 14th Amendment, established that allegiance meant the common law definition, I think your first hurdle is to help us understand why we would believe that when the 14th Amendment was ratified, the framers weren't just incorporating what we had previously said it meant.
Page 572 of the congressional record directly addresses this. They say the concept of temporary and local allegiance from the Schooner Exchange is what is meant by, or temporary and local jurisdiction from the Schooner Exchange is what is meant by the word jurisdiction in the 14th Amendment. Senator Trumbull says, I thought about saying owing allegiance, but again, quote, there's a sort of allegiance from persons temporarily resident in the United States whom we have no right to make citizens. So he expressly and consciously rejected reliance on Schooner.
What do we do with, I mean, that's a debate,
now
and it's the discussion, very valid. But then we have a subsequent debate between Fessenden and Wade, where the same concept comes up, and it becomes clear, at least from Senator Wade's perspective, that that's wrong. So Senator Fessenden, and I'm not sure whether these are senators, I apologize. Fessenden says, suppose a person is born here of parents from abroad temporarily in this country. Wade responds, the senator says a person may be born here and not be a citizen. I know that is so in one instance, in the case of the children of foreign ministers who reside near the United States, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, now what's really going to be funny, and they'll be like, because see, you got these dumb Democrat shields to Ketanji Brown Jackson blew the doors off with him, and this and that. That's not quite true. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear his rebuttal.
So it appears as though in that exchange, at least Senator Wade believed that the English common law understanding of what it means to have allegiance, to be a temporary person on the soil, was what was being adopted.
Yeah, that content or that exchange strongly supports us. If you look at it in context, Senator Wade has introduced a version that says only birth on U.S. soil and doesn't have any allegiance or jurisdictional element to it. And so Senator Fessenden stands up and says, well, that can't be right, because, you know, obviously, what about the children of temporary visitors? It has this, you know, it's another one of these statements that has this appeal to a background understanding that we all agree that the temporary visitors, their children do not become citizens. And then Senator Wade has to kind of backtrack and say, well, what about the children of ambassadors? And in the end, Congress does not adopt Senator Wade's proposal. So we think that to the extent you can draw an inference from that, the inference strongly supports.
All right, well, let me just ask you about why we wouldn't see in the 14th.
Don't let Roland Martin tell you that she was cooking. She got her ass cooked. And so what she was trying to do is she keeps trying to set it up. And what's funny is what that just exposed, she's not as well read on this particular topic as he is. And that's why he just had to school her about how she just tried to use it and showed her misuse of it and said, well, that actually helps our point. Hey, man, if a person is cooking all on their own, let them cook all on their own. Don't get out here lying to black folks telling you that she did something special. She just got her ass roasted. And now she has to move the goalpost a third time in this exchange. Let's hear how she fares out. Stop telling me how great this woman is.
Amendment, anything about parental allegiance. Several of my colleagues have talked about the fact that your view of this turns on what the status of the parents are, and not the child, as would the born in the United States view of it. Can you help us understand why we wouldn't expect to see a mention of parents in the text of this amendment?
I think it was well understood that, for example, children cannot, newborns cannot form domicile. So it follows every 19th century.
That assumes domicile is in the test. And I'm asking you, how do we know that Congress did adopt the test that you say it adopted?
When you're looking at 19th century conceptions of allegiance, the notion that the allegiance, again, we say domicile is instantiating the concept of allegiance for aliens as opposed to citizen. All of that, the 19th century understands the newborn's domicile, its allegiance follows the allegiance of the parents. And I point out that their theory relies on parental allegiance as well, because they recognize the exceptions for, you know, hostile invading armies, for tribal Indians, for ambassadors. Again, the child's allegiance status, even on their view, turns on the status of the parent.
What do we do with Professor Mueller's amicus brief and the historical record and the fact that even at times in this country where we understood that the parents were declared enemies of the United States, I'm talking about World War II and Japanese internment, babies born in that circumstance were given birthright citizenship. So it seems as though this concept of allegiance of the parents really wasn't driving birthright citizenship, at least at this period. Wouldn't have gotten birthright citizenship?
Well, if they were domiciled here, yes, they should have. If they were temporarily present, then no. But the executive practice we can see from the 1930s.
How does the temporary presence run with your concept of allegiance? I'm not sure I understand. So can you be clear? Are you saying
if they're
that
here temporarily, then
people
they
who
have an
are
allegiance elsewhere?
Domiciled here, as you define it, can form the necessary loyalty to the United States?
It's not a Allegiance is not a question of subjective loyalty.
Okay.
Oh, it is something you owe. It's a reciprocal relationship between the citizen, whether they want it or not, they have that allegiance. And I think it's powerfully—
On the basis of what?
Domicile. I mean, that's what it says in so many words in the Venus and the Pizarro. It says, look, if you're talking about an alien, if they're just temporary, permanent home, they become part of our political community, and they are analogous or akin to citizens.
All right, just quickly, Juan Kim Ark's statement that birthright citizenship is applying, quote, independently of a residence with intention to continue such residence, independently of any domiciliation. I know that they use domicile, it's a fact in the case, but that's not a part of their holding. It's not what the reasoning turns on.
I believe you're quoted from page 693 of that opinion. It goes on to say, not citizen terms on that, but the duty of obedience to our laws. It doesn't take a further step at that point and say, therefore, if you have temporary and local allegiance, you're a citizen. And immediately before that, you have that page 693 summary of the court's holding, where it says
you say Juan Kim Ark incorporates a domicile requirement.
That is the holding. It's definitely clearly expressed in the holding.
All right, one final thing, perspective. You say perspective. We're supposed to do this. Don't worry about the people. How does this work? Are you suggesting that when a baby is born, people have to have documents, present documents? Is this happening in the delivery room? How are we determining?
Yeah, no, that's the question.
He says, look, a social security number, non-citizens can have them if they work on it. I'm summarizing because I'm not
a say that they
in the system, there's a computer system.
So there's no opportunity. There's apparently no opportunity then for the in the United States.
Absolutely not. The opposite happened in a tiny minority of cases.
After the fact.
Directly addressing that guidance.
After the fact.
Yes.
After their baby has been denied citizenship, then we can go through the process.
Yes. And the way that, I mean, I'm summarizing because I'm not an expert in computers, but there's a computer program that currently automatically generates a social security number. SSA says, look, a social security number, non-citizens can have them if they work authorization, so it doesn't prove citizenship, which there are robust databases for, and then it appears no different to the vast majority of birthing parents.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Lit her up. Now, there's a little more that I want to hear.
General Sauer, before we get into the broader issues, would you, as a case about state citizenship, it was a diversity case. And of course, we know what Chief Justice Taney did with that. How does the citizenship clause respond specifically, changes or corrects to citizenship? The other point is the citizenship clause refers not just to national citizenship, but also to state citizenship. Are we to have two different definitions for those? It's one word, citizens of the United States and citizens of the state wherein they reside. So as you begin, I'd like you to go back at the beginning and be more specific about the answer. And I want you to explain whether or not those two definitions are the same or related, and what state citizenship is based on.
Thank you, Justice Thomas. I'll maybe start by addressing Dred Scott. You know, as you alluded to the fact, Dred Scott, you know, imposed one of the worst injustices in the history of this court, and it led to the outbreak of the Civil War. It's very clear in this court, in all of its early cases, interpreting the 14th Amendment said, to overrule Dred Scott and establish the citizenship of the freed slaves. And if you look at the debates in the congressional record and discussion surrounding the adoption of the citizenship clause, what you see is a very clear understanding that the newly freed slaves and their children have a relationship of domicile. They do not have a relationship to any foreign power. For example, there's a comment where he says, look, people have been here for 5 generations and clearly have no relationships to any foreign African potentate, or have a relationship of allegiance to the United States. And that reinforces our point that of domicile, they do not have a relationship to any foreign power. For relationships to any foreign African potentate, foreign power. For example, there's a comment where he says, look, people have been here for 5 generations and clearly have no relationships to any foreign African potentate, or have a relationship of allegiance to the United States. And that reinforces our point that allegiance is what the word jurisdiction means. It doesn't mean regulatory jurisdiction or sort of being merely subject to the laws. They're talking and they're thinking about it in those debates about allegiance. Now, as to your second question, if you look at...
And with that being said, remember...
And no place else. God bless America and no place else.
The text of the clause, we believe it says, born in the United States, born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States and the states of which they reside. So there's a constitutional guarantee that applies to both federal or national and state citizenship. And the key point we make there is that word reside, if you look at, for example, section 1473 of Justice Story's commentaries, was understood to mean domicile. So when they say subject to the jurisdiction, and then they go on to say you're a citizen of the United States and the state in which they reside, the very text of the clause itself presupposes that the citizen is domiciled in the United States if they're present in a state.
Meaning that they never had intentions of these Negroes leaving. So much so that, well, hell, we need to make them citizens, because if they leave, we done for. What we gonna do if they gone? Other than killing, eating each other. But, man, there's a lot of Haitians right now wondering what they gonna do. Remember the one woman who was like, oh yeah, I'm here, ooh, you can't do nothing, ooh, see, and then Kamala didn't win, and she's like, well, from us to you.
You shouldn't have been talking shit. You shouldn't have been talking shit.
At all. They reside there. Reside means domicile in the Constitution, and we think that strongly supports our interpretation. It's textual evidence of our domicile-based theory of jurisdiction.
And they know who was domiciled here, because we've been domiciled here for 400 years. And what he told you was 500 years. These people couldn't possibly have an allegiance to a foreign government. Oh, the pan-Africans are mad. Ain't they? Because doesn't that just shit all on the Pan-African claim to fame? But that's just the reality of it. And that's what you got, baby. The truth. And we are American. Our citizenships, our birthright is here. And everybody who comes around here to participate knows exactly how they're doing it. You know that 500 years of Black folks being on this land, documented history. White folks telling you that. With all of these pan-Africans coming around, you guys don't know who you are. White folks can tell you we've been around here for 500 years. Your birthday's January freaking 1st. How the hell are you going to tell us who the hell we are? Matter of fact, like I was talking about that, I'm one of these days, I'm going to just have to break out that baby book. Like the one my mother made for me. Man, I got generations going back. Great, great, great grandparents or whatnot. And I, I hail from a huge family. So it's very interesting when these people come around here and they talk so crazy to us. But understand, when 80% of Texans stay home, and these idiots are still talking about being the 92%, you're 92% of 20%, and you're boasting. You got your ass kicked. And Jasmine Crockett's career as politician is over with. All because you bet on a bunch of nonsense. And you know who else I can't wait to see get the fuck out the paint? This one here.
We were able to organize a bipartisan coalition of people throughout the country that were lobbying their members of Congress to affirm the humanity, the dignity, and to fight for the safety of 350,000 Haitian nationals. Now, I co-chair the House Haiti Caucus. That's a caucus I actually resurrected that had grown dormant. So I co-chair the House Haiti Caucus, which is an honor because I represent the third largest Haitian diaspora in the country. I fight for the people of Haiti because they taught me everything about the work of resistance and rebellion and liberation. I fight for the people of Haiti because as a Black woman, I owe the people of Haiti. I fight for the people of Haiti because if we are to say that Black lives matter, that must mean all Black lives, from Haiti to the Sudan to Congo, and I could go on. So this is now a first step. And it is a testament to the broad coalition we organized. We phone banked, we knocked doors. Senator Markey and I did a field hearing in Mattapan at Jubilee Church. And that all built momentum and pressure. Because what I know is government doesn't always lead, but it does respond. And we kept pressure up, forcing people to respond and to be people of conscience. And so that included many members of the Democratic caucus, along with 4 Republicans. Now we move to a vote.
God bless America and no place else.
If anybody think Ayanna Pressley gives a shit about what happens to Black America, man. And so the truth of the matter is, when we started making our delineation push, these people had to rush and rush some more. Why? Because they were running out of time. And look at what they're doing.
The other thing is that I've introduced legislation. One of those is called Melt Ice Act, and you see here, which is a bill that will end detention, is drop enforcement, and then all that money, that $150 billion of ICE enforcement with your taxpayer dollars would get redirected to the communities that have been impacted the most by the terror of abductions, of kidnapping. The same thing with the president. We have to be clear that it is the responsibility of Congress, pushed by the people, because without your pressure, Congress won't move, to actually start doing the work of oversight and, I would say, prosecution before we get to 2028.
Yeah, well, before all of that, let me just say, you first should learn to obey the laws of the land that you are entering, right? Secondly, none of y'all are our responsibility. So third and last, hashtag fire up the jet. Yeah. Oh, it's your birthday. Oh my goodness. Let me see. And so with all that's going on, guess who is catching hell now? Remember how us negative Negroes were jumping all over the Asians? Well, now they're out here protesting. See, they learning the harsh lesson. They played away games. And now they're learning the hard way that when you play away games, not all the time things work out for you. And you come over here away from your homeland and you talk crazy to us and you join up with white supremacists to attack things that were meant just for the babies of slaves. And subsequently you helped remove certain mechanisms which protects everyone else because you missed the huge point of note that we are tied to America's Constitution. None of you are. We don't owe you shit. You hear me? No, baby, you I don't know what to say. And I understand it because right now there's a whole lot of shills right now, because trust me, right now, let's see, we had 1,130 views of this video. Just make sure YouTube, you make sure you get my count right when people see it. Again, there's don't let these numbers fool you. And we're in the actual political season, so there's so many think tanks watching me right now. You guys haven't figured out nothing. You know how much money you have spent combating what we do? I do. I was here, $1 billion man over here. How much money have you spent combating this? Oh, and Al Sharpton, stop whining. Because, and it's very clear who you're talking about. And see, again, this small little platform, you'd be like, why would Al Sharpton care about what he said? Funny, I was wondering the same thing. But, when around that time with the Disco Brian, hey, man, you letting that white man speak in business, he ain't got no business speaking in. And then on top of that, you already see what his objective is. He wants to pivot black folks' attention to anti-Semitism. That ain't our agenda. We have enough anti-blackness going on in our community, and you sit there and let him run with that shit. And then when black folks really come up here and say, let's start demanding things from the Democrats, you shut them down. And then you literally now are going on your campaign to complain about people who complain about you on this microphone, and I fired up my camera, and I guess I make posts every now and then about you. And no, I'm not part of an organization because I said no to the mother about 6 times now. I don't believe in being part of no secret society. That talented 10th shit doesn't work for me. Give a damn how you package it. You be sitting up here in the damn. When I went through my situation, I'm in jail still getting approached. No, it's no then. It was no in the 90s. It's no now. I only am here for the Lord's business. And the Lord's business don't have me taking another God, the God of your fraternity or whatever. But let's be clear. I'm one that I was never offered the fluff and all of that introductory bullshit. That's why I'm firm on my no. No, they told me directly what I was getting involved in. Hell no. Hell no. I got a goddamn soul. And for all of you who will run today's shit, good for you, dude. Go knock yourself out, but knowing you're going to hell. We will live forever. When you come back, you're going to be tormented too, stupid. And you want to be part of these organizations. You think that they are just blowing smoke when they're talking about reincarnation? What do you think you're binding yourself to? Yeah, for all of you people who don't believe in God, I will tell you this. Find out why everybody believes in Satan. And one thing about that is Satan most definitely believes in God. So it's kind of funny to me when people get out of here and be like, oh, this is plagiarizing it. What's plagiarized? Tell me what the white folks are serving. Like I said, I really try not to be overly like Bible beating you here, but come on, man. Y'all want to go run around with the devil and go play with Aphrodite and all of these other mother of this, and then you want to blaspheme on the words of the people using names from these biblical bloodlines and then act like it's nothing. No, it's very much something. I don't want no parts of that. Well, see, we have freedom of religion. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because every other religion is based off of anyway. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Now I could go on for days there. Like I said, I've been around for a while, family, and I ain't new to this. And a lot of those individuals, they be knowing, like their whole thing that State Department line. I know when people dropping certain shit, and I know who they talking to. So, not new for me. Again, I've been honest and open about what I have done in my career. So, there's that. Now, here's the thing. The truth is, I really don't think people believe me. Like, I be walking around like, you really think I give a shit about lying to you? When I'm telling you these stories, it's real truth. Why would I give? There are a lot of people out here that really feel some kind of insecure way. Is there any kind of era of that I give off? My wife could hop on this camera and tell you, y'all, what you see is what it is. I give a shit about my family and my folks. You know, everything outside of that commits me. Come on. And being part of some organization that's cool with looking at our own as less than, I ain't down with none of that. Just because people in a poor state or poor position, I'm supposed to look down on my own folks? Fuck that. Hell no. And they're going to get out here and have the nerve to open your mouth and call anyone else a coon. I can't say what I want to say, but it does come to do with doing something to yourself. Not in the pleasurable manner. I can't stand individuals like that. You'll sit up here, scream on black folks about how they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that. And at the same time, you dogging out black folks. Can't stand people like that. And they act like they're doing it in love. You doing it for the love of your money and your organization. I didn't get the money, my organization did. What are you talking about? I've been the head of sickle cell as a pastor and reverend for as long as I can remember. And she's just as dirty of a fucking crook as any of them. Yeah, I hope you watch it. Matter of fact, give me my cake topper that you stole. We had a black figurine. You drop that off, preacher. Give it to Q. He'll get it to me. Because everybody knows in this family, I don't. With you. So you can give it to him. He'll get it to me. But you already know. You such a slime ball. You don't even show up to your own mother's funeral. Anyway. Dumb bucket. People are watching. But I'm a pastor. You're a lying thief. That's why your own children ain't over there like that. Oh man, we got a cake. It's a black couple figurine. Cake topper. Like, out of all the shit to steal from somebody, you steal that. Pastor. These people with these. You think you can hide behind your religion or your collar while you dirty as hell? No. That's why, for me, I would just rather serve the Lord as I am in my simplicity. I ain't no big this, I ain't no big that. I'm just me. And however I am here to serve, I am doing that. But let me tell y'all something. There'll be a lot of people out here that'll talk loud and scream on folks. They don't give a shit about black folks. They don't. And here's one thing that we have the opportunity to look at ourselves and the beauty that's within ourselves and get a hold, at least our political view, because this is how we have to interact with all of these other people out here. And so when we're looking at our political function, which we have been, and that's why these people now have to refer to us as like a unit and movement. You have to account for it. I'm also noticing that they're mentioning the 91 plus million people to whom we obviously influence. So now you have to say independent, Republican, and Democrat. You don't do the two-party thing no more. You can thank New Black Media for that. That's all of y'all, family. And they act as if you're invisible. I hate that. All of you are not invisible. We are not speaking for ourselves up here on these microphones. We are megaphones for the family here. And every time you see us, you can see them co-sign what we say. And then you can see them speak for themselves in some of these other areas. That ain't behind one man. That's behind one people. Damn the rest. And if anybody got a problem with me loving my own that goddamn much, kiss my ass. I don't hate anybody else, but my energy will be for mine. Doesn't that make sense for folks? I don't know why they we gotta be worried about this. No, we've allowed ourselves to worry about every other group. Soon they will be when they run out of people, it'll be things. They've already tried it. But black folks ain't no tree huggers like that. Do you know how long they was trying to sell us climate? And how many people remember when I warned y'all that was going to be the next push before? Because there was a leak of one of the Democrat strategists that got to me. And oh boy. Yeah, let's go to work, baby. Because let's just let you know what's coming. And we got that message out lickety split. That whole climate change thing died on the vine. And the one little white girl that they was going to do came out talking crazy about Israel. And so there went that whole agenda up in smoke. All again, family, to combat this right here. To combat all of you. And all this, because when we're all unified, worlds change. And they know that. And so when we're all not moving, this is 6 years later. We're 6 years removed from George Floyd. We ain't went no goddamn where. Double honors to all of you. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Double honors to you. You have made this world see us, if they want to or not. And that is one of the greatest things that I've been able to witness, to where us slowly poor nobodies with a no-string budget have been able to create a medium of information that does not have a price tag on it. Homegrown. Just from you to me, from me to you. That's a great thing. Everybody else wish they could get their thing together like we could. They can't. On top of that, we did it with the leaderless movement. And that's why they keep turning around and trying to say, Tariq's the leader. You know it's leaderless. Just like that woman I played earlier. While they're still trying to dog Tariq, she had to admit that so many different factions, but one message, one mission. Family. Black first. Another year, y'all have kicked the devil's ass. Salute to all of the family. I appreciate each and every one of you. Round of applause to all of you. Man, and to all of our haters. And everybody who has wished this wicked, wicked, wicked system to come to its end. We are the voice of the righteous, and we come proclaiming loudly and boldly in faith. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? You know, and there is somebody out there right now saying,
what the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn! What? Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, oh, man. Well, at the end of the day, we ruined your Saturday, but hey, tomorrow's Easter, so go have some ham. Woo! And if are amongst the Boule D9, you know, you think you guys are we're gonna rally the troops, we're gonna combat the message of these guys. You can't combat the message of somebody that can influence 90+ million people when you've had $2 billion and you couldn't influence 50 million people. See, the problem that you're having is you're not genuine. And when you're genuine, you just are. And that's the difference between us and you. So when you say guerrilla tactics, that means what? Everybody in different areas is waking up. And that means no one person is a leader. That means there's something on the inside of folks. While you have already sold what that was to your paymasters. Oh, Mr. Roboto, somebody's upset. You sold your souls. And we see it. Hold on, y'all. Someone's mad.
God bless America and no place else.
The Congressional Black Caucus is in trouble, and they see the writing on the wall, and they don't know what to do. Because, quite frankly, it makes a lot of them irrelevant, but it also exposes them in the long run. That's why that the powers that be, and I told you all this leading up into that last election, that somebody was smart enough in the Republican camp to be paying attention to what we are saying over here in this new black media. And because we have delineated, it opens the door for all of these other ties to be cut, and where we are severing the tether. So before you guys get to saying you xenophobics, blah, 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 remember the question that everybody fears.
Where's your family from?
Arkansas and Texas. My wife, Texas. Yeah, a lot of us based out that country. And that's why, when you ask your grandparents when you're little, who are we? Where are we? Do we come from Africa? No, we French. And see, that goes back to the Moorish thing. See, so those of us who are descendants of the French slaves that ended up being American, those things were passed down through our families. So it's not going to be in a book. It's not going to be something that the white people are going to tell you. Your white Democrat handlers ain't going to tell you because they don't know, because they're not us. So you will never be able to pass yourself off as us, because we have connection with, at least for me, four generations. So 3 in my lifetime. And might have been 4 on my daddy's side, because people tend to live over 100 years on that side. So I think that's 4 on my daddy's side. So, I understand. Did you hear what I'm saying, though? I'm giving you just a brief rundown of, like, the people I can identify. Like my wife was talking about earlier, like her great-great-grandfather. Like, there's pictures of people in your households. Can you trace your lineage back? What are you talking about? Have you ever had a family member die of scarlet fever? I have. I should have a great aunt. She'd probably be gone by now. She died at 7 because she had scarlet fever, which you guys now know today to be the mild version of that is strep throat. Strep throat will turn into scarlet fever if you don't take care of it. But see, this is a thing that actually helped, or plagued a lot of folks in America, because there wasn't antibiotics then. Then medicine, of course, got there. But see, these are the things that we have history in this soil about, and we're connected to it. Tell me something about Africa, I would be like, okay. I don't really find a giant rat appetizing, nor do I find a cat or a dog appetizing. That's just kind of not in me. But if it's in you, maybe we don't come from the same lineage. And so when we hear you say we, that's why we're asking, we? Because we know you're not us. And so in that conversation, there is no we. There's you and us being foundational Black Americans, aka Judah. But there might be somebody out there that has a problem with what I'm saying right now, and a problem with the fact that we are independent. We don't represent the Democrats. We don't represent the Republicans, but we represent Black empowerment. You may say, well, man, that's just representing Trump. Well, Trump can't run again, stupid. So what are you going to do? You need to figure out your position and how you map out the future for your family. And that ain't going to come by worrying about what the Democrats are talking about. That's going to come by worrying about what your future generations are saying. Are you in touch with your community? and you have a problem with what I'm saying, and you say that we should do something else, I have to firmly reject that because I believe something is wrong with you. And so that regard, I can only speak for myself. beatzillapdx. I can speak for the independent Black voice. Pretty sure I can speak for the people in the chat, the replay gang, and the Black Grassroots. And, well, of course, the voices of new Black media. I guess I can speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Family, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. Speaking of that, emailing Temu, I don't know what to tell you. I don't use Temu, so if I haven't responded to the emails, sorry. But like I said, you can follow me on or email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you want to put something in the bucket by way of donation, you can definitely do so. Just like our brother Antithesis did earlier. Thank you so much for the CashApp donation. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. And you can also join our brother in the support of this channel by that's CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so, with that being said, we had a good little conversation today. We talked for about 3 hours. And, that's old school lives. But since I haven't been, able to keep these lives going like this, we tend to run these a little long. But that, man, for my old school folks, y'all know, I brought in New Year's one year. I did a 5-hour broadcast. So 3 hours is nothing. I could go for hours. I've definitely done that. But understand, that's how vested we are in our folks. That we could get up here and talk to y'all for this long. It's not like we have nothing to say. And so I find this a great time for our community, because when I was young, there was no medium of real Black down to earth thought, not like it is now. And there's so many different voices out here now that you can get your flavor from whatever you getting, and the bottom line is the code. So if this person is talking off, then that okay, you see what they own. That is the beauty of what we have created here. And hey, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, because folks is mad. They can't do shit but be mad. But I mean, hey, we definitely gave them reason to, because one thing that we showed them is we could be unified without even having to be like a gang. So that is we're breaking stereotypes and myths and curses, family. Again, I can't stress, give yourself a round of applause. I can't stress it enough. So salute to all of y'all, and let's keep this ball rolling. Foot to the floor. Let's keep trucking. And major salute to all of you. Family, remember why they hate us.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor. 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that always makes me laugh. I'm telling you, from the very first time I watched Obi-Wan and saw that, I knew they were going to be mad. You know how red-faced them little the nerds, the little racist nerds had to be watching that like. Oh, if you know, you know. It's funny. It's like, goddamn, she got a lightsaber and you still feel like, oh, classic television. Say, classic. Woo, family. Happy new Black Media Appreciation Month. It is our month. Let's enjoy one another and support one another. Salute to our good brother Church of Black Power. Y'all can catch him tomorrow for his Sunday service. And with that being said, family, keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready and your slingshot nearby. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed one, a blessed month, blessed weekend, and a good, prosperous week. Peace.
So if any black people want reparations
and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about
tethers,
trying to be all in the videos,
speaking for black people,
dancing,
come to New Black Media and the Black Grassroots. Peace.
When you know who Satan is,
yes, sir.
You don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth.
Yes.
See, that's what you throw.
Yes, right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.
Thank you.